Straight. All right. So, what's going on, America? What's going on, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all those other good joints? It's about that time. So, hopefully, you have a second to hang out with Kev in my corner. And you could let me know by just chatting a little bit right there in the notes or something. Let me know you're there. Uh, Check in with me. Always got to go through the preliminaries when I go live because sometimes YouTube tries to mess with me. So let's see here. I know I'm live. Okay. Or am I? Okay, it's saying I'm live. Where's the chat? What the? Okay, wait. We got some people. We got some people chiming in. There we go. Don's in the house. Thank you, Don, for hanging in there with me all of this time. I appreciate you. There we go. Yeah, man. Uh-huh. The troops are coming. That's what I'm talking about. And Dallas said he can hear me. So if Dallas said he can hear me, then we got to get busy. That's simple. So let me go ahead and get loose so we can get busy. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. There's some gorillas in here. Welcome to the Gorilla Clan in Kevin's Corner. Check out my corner store. If you get a chance, you can get all kind of merchandise from there. You can pretty much build it from scratch. And that number 330-974-4607 is the number you could text me, MAGA to, and this way I'll at least lock you in. So if something goes wrong, I can let everybody know where to break me out at. And then finally, I do have a monthly fundraising link below the videos. So this way, if you want to support the channel monetarily, you can do that as well. Hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. I got Twitter, I got Instagrams, and I also got what's the other one? Rumble. I got them all, man. I got them all. Facebook. So follow me on all that stuff. This way we can stay connected. Now, guys, y'all saw the title. And before we get into George Snuffleupagus, we got to talk about some other stuff. See, I've come to the conclusion that the Democrats are the most dirtiest fighters in politics. Yeah, they're the most corrupt, evil, sadistic, arrogant, power-hungry, deceiving people in politics. See, and tonight I want to expose some of the tactics that they use. Now, you guys are pretty familiar with them. But recently, a couple people have gotten exposed. Because just like all sorry fighters that talk a whole bunch of game, when they get punched in the face, that shows what they're really about. Yeah, you could be up there talking about, man, you wait till I see you. I'm going to go in your mouth. You wait, yo, what you want to do? Come on. And I could tell when you throw your dukes up, if you can't fight or not. Come on. What's that? Huh? Get him up in front of your face, man. You up here talking about some, what's up? What's bing? Go straight to pieces. And that's what happens to some of these Democrats when they get exposed. But in exposing them, we also will show some of the dirty tactics that they use. You know, these fascists that they are. Starting off with somebody who was offended, y'all. Yeah, man. The Queen. The Queen, man, up there in New York. Queen Latifah had the nerve to get booed and got offended. And I guess she thinks she's a real queen. You know, I guess she's able to, bring in some of my subjects. Come here. I want you to go out and find all of these peasants and have them hung. It's unreal. So let's see what happened to Queen Latifah up there in New York when she went to visit the firefighters. The dirty tactics of the fascist left. Oh, the queen gets booed. What's this? Boy, I tell you. She better wear all black. Yeah, try to cover up that figure. So here she is getting up there looking like two Queen Latifahs stuffed into one. But got the nerve to get up there and get booed. Now, see, this goes to show the arrogance of the left. Now, you know you're dealing with a blue-collar, grimy, rugged group of guys and girls, you know, who Donald Trump had much favor with these people. I mean, don't you have some common sense? Can't you read the crowd? Can't you keep your ear to the street, check the temperature? I mean, you want to go into friendly places. Normally, Democrats go into non-hostile places. She should be going somewhere where it's a whole bunch of purple-haired, pink-haired liberals up in there with pride flags on and, you know, Donald Trump's not my president and open-toe sandals, stuff like that. You know, all came in Prius. She should be going to something like that. Thank you. We love you. You saved us from Orange Man Bad. That's where she should be going. But she goes into a place where some hardcore, hard-working men and women in the fire department is there. And she thinks that she's going to get loved, I guess. Now, see, that goes to show the arrogance. This is how many, many liberals think. They think everybody loves them. Yeah, they're narcissistic. That is why they get up there on TikTok and on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter and all of these places and do some of the dumbest things and shock when people react to it negatively. But when they filming it, they straight up confident. They out there like, come here, y'all, come here, come here. All right, so I know they told us we ain't supposed to be teaching about transgenderism in the schools. But we're doing it anyway. See, you know why? Because we're fighting against the patriarchal, trans, homophobic societies that's oppressing black folks and kids and all. And they're doing this stuff and they're proud about it. Next thing you know, next morning, door opens. Come in here. Come in here. What did I do? Come here. Is this you? Is this you on TikTok? Now look, we all know we're all liberalified here, but you can't get on TikTok and air this stuff because, I mean, this is confined to a small group of people. Majority of people don't think like us, okay? So I'm going to have to let you go. The shock. The lady who got on there and bragged about letting her, I think it was a 5-year-old cry because she didn't want to show her that she got white girl privilege. And her 11-year-old son was trying to comfort the kid. Don't touch her. She has to learn that as a white woman, every time you cry doesn't mean somebody could come to your rescue. And I'm thinking, you got to be the dumbest person in the world. And you sharing this on TikTok or whatever. Thinking what? You're going to gain praise with black folks? Or we're going to say, now, she gets it. She gets it. Look at that. She's standing in solidarity with us. Because, see, when our kids cry, we actually go and comfort them. But that white kid needs to learn, okay? Let them cry. Now, come here, baby. We comfort our kids. We don't sit there and let them cry. They ain't going to unless they crying for nothing. But, yeah, she thought it was going to be popular. And everybody blasted her. So now this chick goes in there with a moo-moo and has the nerve to get up there and get booed. Now, when you're drunk on power, when you're arrogant, when you think that your poop don't stink, you get offended. She thinks she's the real queen.
We're in a house of God. First,
I'm mad. I'm mad that I wasn't invited to the boo party, man. Yeah, not the pool party. I want to go to the boo party. Man, I would have drove up there full speed, breaking all kind of laws. Might get a police escort. Why are you speeding, sir? I'm going to the boo party for Letitia James. Oh, well, if that's the case, let's give this man an escort. He's a hero. Shoot me up there real quick. They ain't going to run in with the biggest bullhorn known to man. Beep, beep. Is this thing? Hello. Okay, ready? All right, everybody ready? Boo! I want to blow her ears off. I would boo so hard her hair would be blowing back like this. But here she is talking about some simmer down, we're in the house of God. Just as arrogant as she can be, knowing that her little ego is shattered. That's all it takes to expose some of these power-hungry, arrogant narcissists. Just touch their ego, and then the fascist will come out in them. See, you mess with their ego, and then the real tyrant comes out.
simmer down.
I wish
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for getting it out of your system.
No, it ain't out
I want to thank Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
That is the Morning Buzz. They were not stopping. New York Attorney General Letitia James getting flustered a bit at that New York City Fire Department ceremony as she is booed by the firefighters who then chant for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Trump, Trump, Trump. They were saying now top brass at New York's bravest wants to investigate any firefighters who they say broke protocol.
Tactics of the left, baby. If you don't honor us and bow down to us and bend the knee, we'll go ahead and hunt you down. If you don't agree with our politics, we'll go ahead and call you an insurrectionist, abuse our power. So now all of a sudden, the truth is coming out. Remember, y'all, remember. See, she only was going after one political enemy that she was lying about. Now, I ain't even be trying to go after my political enemy. I'm just trying to find justice. Well, now all of a sudden, she done made some new enemies. And she couldn't suppress it. I know she went home like, how dare they? She's probably like that young dude on, what was it, Gladiator? Yeah, him. Talking about, why won't they love me? Why won't they love me? Yeah, she's upset. She got home and that ego was bruised and she thought about it. How dare them? How dare they come out here and boo me and then got the nerve to be talking about some Trump. What environment did she think she was walking into? I mean, any frontline worker, any person that is responsible for saving lives, for protecting the homeland, for protecting citizens, they all love Trump because they know the Democrats don't respect them. They don't honor them. They put politics first. Trump honored them. He let them know that he appreciated them. But the Democrats was mad every time he would honor any group of people. Right now, he wants to have a parade just to show that he's Hitler and show his military might, not to honor the military. No, that wasn't it. It was so he could ride down the street on top of a tank with his hands up like this. See, anytime Trump will come out and honor these folks, the Democrats would try to downplay it and undercut it and stuff like that. So these people appreciate Trump. I mean, Trump ain't the one that's out there undermining them, making them get vaccines, frontline workers. He's not out there talking about we should defund the police. He's not out there handicapping the frontline workers down there on the border. No, he's not doing that. Yeah, Democrats are the ones that do that kind of crap. So now she gets up there thinking that they're just going to applaud her, and she didn't earn it. In fact, she earned every boo and every Trump, because they all see through that moo-moo. They see through the moo-moo. Okay? She is nothing more than a Soros plant that is abusing her power, and now it all comes out because it doesn't stop at Trump. Look what she's doing, y'all.
By saying Trump. The New York Post obtaining an email from the chief of the department saying that he recommends those who protested come forward. So the commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh, won't have to, quote, hunt them down.
What? Hunt them down? See, there it is. Tactics of the left. That's what fascists do. You can't go ahead and embarrass a fascist, a dictator. What's wrong with y'all? Yeah, she about to hunt y'all down. You can't make fun of Lefebvre. I mean, look what happened when they joked about Crooked Hillary. That guy got locked up. There you go. So this goes to show that her tyranny is not just confined to Trump. People were concerned after this bootleg verdict on Trump that it might spread. And Hochul came out talking about some, everybody calm down. That's just special for Trump because he doesn't know how to act. Well, apparently, these firefighters don't know how to act either. So now they got to get hunted down. And I'm glad they leaked this memo because it reveals the tactics of the left. They want to make everybody submit to their will. They want everybody like North Korea crying when they come on stage. Oh, the supreme being, the supreme queen, and all of that mess. So now her ego was so bruised that she thought she could get away with encouraging whoever to send out this memo and didn't think nobody would leak it. Only revealing then she got other motives. She's not put in office to serve justice because guess what? She's also going after somebody, I forget which district, but they don't want the little boys getting in little girl sports, and she's suing them too. Forget the crime. Forget the homeless folks. Forget all those illegal immigrants running around the city committing crime and New Yorkers committing crime. Forget people in the subway getting pushed, hit, sliced, cut, all of that. Forget that mess. We got to go after these people who don't want these little boys who think they're girls competing in girls' sports. Got to go after them. Oh, and don't forget the meat production company up there. Yeah, see, she wants to go ahead and do to them like she did to Trump. Any business that doesn't meet the liberal agenda, let's sue them. Let's penalize them. Let's get some money from them, and then it'll go to the state. That right there is a tyrannical dang on government right there. That's straight fascism. So she's basically shaking down businesses, talking about well, it's because you haven't met your ecosystem, your pH, whatever. And she don't even know nothing about no climate change. Yeah, you know who's probably calling her up. Yes, you know who this is, the evil emperor. I give money to your campaign. I want you to crush capitalism. You know the evil emperor probably called her up. Yeah, and now she's going after other businesses. I hope every business flees New York like they're leaving California. That's what I hope. But let's go ahead and hear about this memo where they're hunting down firefighters because they don't like Letitia James.
A spokesperson pushing back on this, telling Fox News Digital no one is being hunted down. They want whoever broke department regulations.
What regulations? I mean, did anybody tell them, all right, now listen, when she comes out to talk, you guys aren't allowed to boo and you're not allowed to yell Trump, okay? I'm pretty sure that's not in the memo or in the, the pamphlet or in their, the bylaws or whatever. I'm pretty sure they're allowed to go ahead and say whatever they want, First Amendment. So, yeah. Now that they're exposed, then they're trying to walk back their tyranny. They're trying to walk back the fact that she's really a dictator and she's drunk on power. Her ego was bruised. Thought she could send that memo out and nothing would happen. So now that's how she like, oh shoot, go out and tell them that that's not true. We just want them to come out. But yet, in that same memo, they were talking about re-educating these people. Re-educating. That sounds like Hitler. They're always blaming Donald Trump for being like Lefebvre, but it sounds like they're more like Lefebvre. Hey, Hitler. Re-educating people, hunting folks down who don't like them, ego bruised, and now they're targeting the firefighters.
Wow. Jonathan, your thoughts?
Yeah, this seems really over the top. I think they should let this go. It shows atrocious judgment that they would even bring Letitia James to speak to one of their events because she is probably the most polarizing figure. She's weaponized her position as the attorney general to go after a political opponent. And everyone knows the political opponent she's going after is very popular amongst people like firefighters, police officers. So they've really set themselves up for this. Absolutely.
Dumb. Very, very dumb. It's like Joe Biden coming to a Trump rally. Hey, I'm here to speak. Hey, everybody, all of you ultra MAGA folks and you white nationalists and you insurrectionists, just come here to... Do you understand that you wouldn't be able to hear a word come out of Creepy's mouth? That's how loud the boos would be. That's like CNN showing up there thinking we're going to clap for them. Hey, there's CNN here. They would get booed into oblivion. So, yeah, she goes in there with her big old nasty, arrogant self, thinking that they were going to give her a clap. And she got booed. So let's continue.
Horrendous judgment. They need to leave people alone. This idea that they should come forward and report themselves. I mean, come on. These are firefighters putting their lives on the line. Give them a break. They have a First Amendment.
Look at her nasty butt sitting up in there. I mean, this is what makes me so sick about this woman, and I hope she pays a price. I hope when Trump gets in, he assigns a DA that is going to look into her involvement with the White House. All of these prosecutors look into their communication and their involvement and reverse all of this damage that they've done. and then go after their butts, because you know she communicated with the White House. And see, she's not even humble about it. Here she is kind of lightweight boasting by posting the amount of money that she got out of Trump. But yes, she's trying to say it wasn't personal. And you know what? She's gloating. That even makes it worse. That makes me say, I want to see real bad things happen to her politically. I want to see somebody look into her situation, like Trump said. Somebody look into her situation. Take that big, fat, ugly smile off of her face.
Right, let him express it.
I wonder if it was Letitia James's office who made the call to the head of the fire department of New York, or was it the White House, Mark?
I would assume it was probably Letitia James's office. I mean, how the heck is she supposed to burn down our justice system if there's firefighters out there? So you got to go after them.
Exactly. That's a great play on words. Yep, that ego took a shot. She got up there with her little planner or whatever, her notes, opened it up, and that ego got up there like, yeah, girl, yeah, just wait for it. Wait for the applause. Wait for them to give you the standing ovation. What? Are those boos? Are those boos? Look at how incoming. Ego got bruised.
But look, this Laura Kavanaugh, I think it's an important thing to recognize. She's the FDNY fire commander. She's not a firefighter. She's never been a firefighter.
Oh.
She was appointed by Eric Adams. So
there it is. Yep, appointing people who aren't in the grind, who aren't a part of the real hard-working Americans. Yeah, appoint some activists, some obedient people who really don't have a connection with the firefighters, and have them do your evil bidding. So now here this chick is. I guess she's the one that said, I got to look into this because Letitia James's ego's bruised. So I'm going to go ahead and send out a memo.
now she's in the role of supposedly having to hunt down these firefighters who, again, were just practicing their First Amendment right.
Man, if I was one of these firefighters and she come calling me up, is this Kevin? Yeah. Could you come to the office? We actually did facial recognition and we caught you booing. Yeah, I know. I did. Could you come and talk? No, I'm not. Well, I think you need to. I'm not coming to talk about this nonsense. And frankly, I hope that every one of these firefighters, if any one of them is brought in for this stupidity, I hope they just all straight up go on strike. Like, fire us all. Fire us all. You already got a shortage. Fire us all or shut up. These people need to realize who has the real power. This little Pop-Tart right there can't put out a little fire on a stove. She wouldn't know what to do. So here, these type of people who are so removed from reality and real life situations, and up here, I think it's important that these people get reprogrammed and re-educated and this and that. And what would you do without them? If they all just said, how about this? We're not doing it. Like those truckers, where they were like, you know what? You know, y'all want to act a fool? How about this? How about you deliver your own eggs, your own wood, your own whatever? Do that. Unreal. So I guess here she is, the daunting task of doing nothing.
While Letitia James, all the while, she's in the process of going after everyone except the real criminals. I mean, one of her latest battles is going after somebody who banned transgender athletes from participating in women's sports.
That's important.
She's fighting all the wrong fights. She needs to focus and do what she's in office to do.
And she need to focus on that treadmill. She need to get that big butt up there so she can get out of that moo-moo. Get on that treadmill with those big cankles and go to work. Now, let's move on to the next person. The next tactic, y'all. In this case, we're going to go to the funky, nasty news. Now, here's a tactic that they use. They focus on important values that hardworking Americans might have, whether it be religious values, just moral values, patriotism, and all of that stuff. And they try to challenge your religion, your patriotism, whatever. They try to challenge that by making you seem like you're a hypocrite. They first of all come up with these narratives, false narratives, but then they get to their audience and say, well, how can Christians support Trump? How can, patriots say that they support an insurrectionist? I mean, what would Abraham Lincoln do? They're always talking about Abraham Lincoln. What would all of these heroes on the right do? How can you call yourself this and you support this? So lately, one of the tactics is to target Christians, and not just any Christian, white Christians. But here's the irony about this. The narratives that they come up with about Christians is bewildering to me, because these folks aren't Christians. They're not Christians, or they wouldn't be doing this. See, but yet they're going to tell folks about what Christians should believe, how they should vote, what they should think, what they should, practice. So listen to this nasty, dirty tactic that comes out of this commentator. But yet they will defend stuff like what you're about to hear right after you hear this statement come out of them. Listen to this.
The one thing that unites all of them, because there's many different groups orbiting Trump, but the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way.
How would she know? Notice lately, these commentators on MSNBC been bringing up Christians constantly. White Christians, all that stuff. And I'm thinking, how would you know? What do you know about Christianity? I would love to hear her quote like 3 scriptures, just 3, at that they're not Christians. How would you know? Who are you to judge who a Christian is, and your butt sitting up here just lying and making up stuff? You're on the platform of lies. You sit on a platform of lies. Your whole job is to lie. And you talking about they're not Christians. The thing about that. So now, anybody knows what a Christian nationalist is? It's a made-up term by the left to demonize Christians. Just like when we were talking about nationalism, pride in your country, and all of a sudden we became white nationalists. See, they added their little spin to it. All right, they can't just be nationalists. All right, there. So we're going to just assume when they say nationalists, they mean white nationalists. There it is. See, they said it themselves. You heard them say nationalism is coming back in fashion. They're really meaning white nationalism. And so just like this, Christians. So now all of a sudden they're Christian nationalists, but she won't define that. She won't define it, but it sounds nasty. See, so any bubblehead Christian, any Christian that doesn't have discernment, or any watered down Christian, they might hear that and try to distance themselves from these nationalists, these Christian nationalists. But it also has a second purpose as well, because it makes a large amount of Christians look like if we demonize them, attack them, or whatever, it's justified, because they're not real Christians. They're not like the regular Christians. These are white nationalist Christians, okay? They're white nationalist Christians. So when you see us going after them, and this is nothing more than the spirit of the Antichrist coming in. That's what it is. Because remember, I hate to go biblical on y'all, but I'm going to do it. Remember, during the 7 years of tribulation, Christians, it will be open season on them. Yeah, man. They ain't going to be talking about something, because the Democrat Party has been chomping at the bits to get the Christians. Chomping at the bits. They don't like us bringing up a scripture. They don't like us talking about the Bible says. None of that. They are chomping at the bits, and they got to keep it together because the rapture hasn't come yet. They got to keep it together because the Holy Spirit is still on earth right now, suppressing the full release of the spirit of the Antichrist on this planet. So they got to pretend like Christians are respected. They need their votes. They got a smile in their face, but deep down inside, they're like, oh, these Christians, man, always talking about. That's why it leaks out sometimes. Their Bibles and their guns and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's starting to leak out more and more and more. In the media, they're starting to demonize Christians. And they're starting off with labels like Christian nationalists. And then they're starting off by saying, you know what, these are all rural white Christians. Now, you do understand how many people they are demonizing. See, At what point does it go past just rural white Christians or Christian nationalists, is made up term that they labeled these people, to just Christians? To just Christians. So here we go.
Because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from...
She's talking about every Christian. Every Christian should believe this. Yeah, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus Christ and righteousness. What are you talking about? They believe that their rights don't come from it. No. See, y'all want to replace God. It's one of their tactics. That's why Queen Laquifa is mad. She wants to be looked at as a god. How could y'all disrespect me? You know who I am? You should be bowing at my feet. But this chick comes out and says they think that, they're all of their authority and stuff comes from God. It's true. Don't get me wrong. We have to obey the laws of the land. But the buck stops when y'all try to make us cross the line when it comes down to our faith, our beliefs, all of these things. Y'all want to get your hands on Christianity so bad because a large majority of Christians got enough discernment to see through these evil demons. That's why they want to get their hands on it. That right there is the spirit of Diablos coming out in these raggedy behind commentators right here. You think she's talking? No, it's a big, fat, slimy, green, vomit spewing demon inside her trying to manipulate people into thinking Christians are a danger. These aren't your regular Christians. It's a nasty tactic by them and the devil. Now, I hate to have to go ahead and expose Diablos inside of this woman here, but she brought it on herself.
Congress, they don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God.
It is an hour.
But yet, somebody like this could get up and talk about something like this. You get up there and you demonize somebody like this and you say, this girl right here is demonic. What is she talking about? Listen to this.
Responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with.
Did she just say? Now, they always get on us when we start talking about, how you groom yourself. They always get on us when we start saying things like that. When we bring up the books they want to show inside of schools and we say, you don't see how this leads to something else? You don't think people would exploit this? You guys are petting a lot of grown-ups who want to get in there and get their meat hooks on these people, on these kids. See, plant the seed. At what point do these folks go too far? This is what's coming. This right here is showing that, hey, we're trying to move Christianity out and bring in a demonic, evil, stinking, perverted doctrine. And it starts off with, hey, little kid, come here. I bet you feel something on the inside, don't you? It's natural. It's natural. You ever thought that you could be something? Hey, here's a book for you. These nasty, stinking people. And get mad when you say, get away from the kids. Get mad. And so at what point do they start just lowering the standard for everything? And this is why you can't tolerate this type of nonsense at all. Because it all starts off like, we just want this. We just want that. All we want is right. We want equal rights. All we want is this and that. All we want is just to educate the kids and to make them. And it keeps going. Now we're at the point where you can pretty much live out your truth. Where's that stop? So this lady is trying to convince a large group of people that should be chasing her out the room, but they're sitting here listening to her intently, trying to convince them that, hey, we shouldn't look at people with this foul, demonic spirit and evil appetite. No. See, they have their truth on the inside too. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how anybody just sitting in this room, I don't even know where you get an audience to sit here and listen to this lady right here. Listen to this crap.
We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who...
And that right there is the spirit of the devil. He wants humans to think that they're not responsible for their own choices and behavior. This is how you got a whole bunch of people thinking that, you know what? Well, I mean, all these years, I felt socially unaccepted because I wanted to be something that I'm not. But now I feel better about my situation because I realize it's not my fault. It's God's fault. He made me this way. You know what? It's nature. It just made me this way. I don't have to contend with it. I don't have to challenge myself to overcome something. I can submit to my urges. I can go ahead and give in to whatever I think is right in my mind to relieve my conscience, make me become weak and sorry, and blame everybody but me. Blame everybody but me. Yeah. See, get rid of God out of my brain. Because even if people don't know God, he has left himself in nature. He is always leaving himself somewhere where people could say, you know what, I think God might be in that. But these folks don't want to recognize nothing like that. They don't want their conscience messed with at all. So therefore, what you start doing is saying, well, you know what? I want to duplicate my own stinking thinking in everybody. So I don't feel like I'm the only pedophile, the only pervert, the only person with unnatural desires. Yeah. So now I want to go ahead and tell the whole society to embrace this. See, then this way I can feel good about my own choices. It's not my fault. Everybody's doing it. Listen to in the crowd. Look at the crowd.
Like most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
This is unreal, man. That right there is Diablos on the way. I'm feeling a little spiritual tonight, but that right there is a demonic spirit right there. You can't, I mean, there's nothing else you can say about that. You can't explain that. Do you understand? 10 years ago, whoever that little Pop-Tart is talking, do you understand? She would be under investigation. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to, look, we might have to keep an eye on you. Stay away from playgrounds. Do you have kids of your own? We got to keep an eye on you. Her whole family should be like, no, you're not babysitting the kids. We just saw you up here talking crazy. Crazy. But now, big audience sitting there. Yes. What is seducing the minds of humans right now? It's unreal. It just goes to show we're heading in a horrific direction right now. Just the fact that we're at a place where people are considering whether a man could be a woman at will. And it's always them focusing on men being women. Because the devil hates men. They're the head. I want to effeminize them. I want to just go ahead and pervert them, make them look weak, sorry, confused, second place, all of that crap. So they don't talk about, well, you know what, that woman can become, see, because women trying to be men, they can never do it. See, as a man, you're never threatened by women trying to be a man. But for some reason, they focus on men. You always see men up there arguing. You know what, I could be whatever, and I think that. And if I want to play in a sport, you don't see it vice versa. Now, you see women arguing for men most of the time. You see some of the transgender, I guess they call themselves men. Yeah, they will argue for trans rights. But they don't really want to get in the mix with men. See, that's the funny part about it. Out there, you know what, transgenders have rights too, and we all this and that. We'll get in the mix with men. You want to be one of us? Come on. Go out here and help me throw some drywall. There you go. I was the first week on the job. Let me know. These people are bat crap crazy if they think there is no difference between men and women. I could never do my job with a woman. She would have to be a professional bodybuilder for me to be able to do this. That drywall is no joke. Here we take two of us. We carrying that mess upstairs. And I'm thinking, man, all these women talk about, I want to be a man. Come on, man. Get this drywall. Let's go. Yeah, you'll find real quick. No, wait a minute. I don't want that part of manhood. But yet the men wants all the parts of womanhood. Get in there talking about, I want to use your bathrooms. I want to go ahead and compete in your sports. I want to go ahead and it makes me sick. And the fact that we're at that point is scary. Yeah, a point where we're going, this is a debate. And yet you get that Pop-Tart wherever she was and whatever audience she was talking to, actually suggesting that we shouldn't judge these people. That's nothing but the spirit of the devil. Now, guys, here's another tactic. Look at this one. Oh, lying. Now, politicians have lied for a long time, and the news have probably been lying for years as well. But this is how you know things are getting crazy. When it becomes blatantly obvious that our whole political system is in cahoots with the fake news. Their job is to lie for these people. It's one of their tactics. This is actually, in my opinion, their greatest weapon and asset is the news. That allows these politicians to get up there and lie and make claims like what you're about to see. Y'all ready for this? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Now, I wonder if all these Trump deranged citizens, I never vote for Trump. He's a criminal. And this. I wonder if they'll go back and look at these clips and realize they've been duped. Check this out.
Your different approaches has even affected the way that you have campaigned.
2020,
President
baby.
Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people. Outside, yes, sir, agreed. Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with nobody will show up.
Love Trump, because nobody will show up. Did you see? I gotta go back. Look at that crowd. That was Biden, basement Biden, baby. Wow. The only people there are the media. I mean, are they counting the cars? Maybe. So there we go. We got the media and the cars. Look at this one. Look at these. Look at these. Let's go ahead and have a fireside chat in somebody's backyard and put our big fat mask on and sit there. And this guy, man, was horrible. And you want us to believe he won? You see that nasty crowd right there? I mean, they probably had to pay those people to sit there and talk to this creep, sitting there, mask hanging halfway off his face, probably mumbling to him, anyway, this is racism, and the other guy. So let's continue.
With nobody will show up. People with
What's true? Nobody shows up to his rally.
All right. In any case,
Get him, Trump.
why you holding the big rallies? Why you not? You go first.
Tell him, Trump.
Because people want to hear what I have to say.
Mika, I feel compelled to say there were so many lies that were said by Donald Trump.
So many lies that were said by Donald Trump. So in come the rescue for Biden. Lying Biden. Oh, man. So now, one of their tactics is to simply just say, our opponents are always lying. They're lying about their opponents lying. There it is. How you like that? Simple but effective, because they use a mechanism and a platform that at one point had some type of trust and credibility. Therefore, you got a lot of people who ain't hip to the game, that these joints been co-opted a long time ago. See, they were putting in work through the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, so that when they unleash their real truth, all their lies and deception and propaganda, people won't catch it. They won't catch it then. See, they're like, now, wait a minute. I've been watching MSNBC since the 90s. Now you're trying to tell me that they're telling the truth and you're brainwashed by Trump. So now this guy's going to come out and tell us about all the lies that Trump said. That's his job, right? Okay, so here we go.
But none of them more personal than the lie that Joe Biden made $3.5 million from Ukraine, and he kept going on speaking as if it were fact.
The mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. What did he do to deserve it?
That's not true.
$3.5 million from Ukraine, and he kept going on speaking as if it were fact.
The mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million.
None of that is true.
Oh, really?
None of that is true. Do y'all hear this? I'm so glad we have these archives. None of that is true. Now, how can Joe Biden get up there and say that knowing that this was all true? Oh, because of Mika, Joe, and the rest of the fake news. That's why. Because they're not going to go to them and say, you know what? We saw you during the debate say that that's not true. And come to find out, it is true.
But no, Mr. President, it's totally
Look at him.
Totally discredited.
Going on speaking as if it were fact.
It's a fact.
I thought it was interesting. After the debate, the Wall Street Journal posted an article. And in fact, Donald Trump was lying last night.
He was lying? What? No wonder. No wonder. I have to go ahead and debunk all the lies about him lying. See, that's the crazy part. When I went back down to Cincinnati, my beloved pastor, me and him had a little political talk. He said, but what about all the lies he done told, Doc? I said, like what? Which ones? See, I mean, somebody who casually looks at politics, all of these things right here are in their head. Because all we heard, little Brian Stelter, the president lies 18 gazillion trillion times a day. And I keep track of them. Yeah, I'm the lie detector. That guy right there, his whole job was to say Trump's lying. And now you see it even more than ever. Soon as dang on Rachel Madcow come on out, we can't show President Trump because, he's full of lies. And that lets you know he's full of truth. And they're full of lies and the truth ain't in them. And therefore they can't air the truth. So here we go.
But he lied to tens of millions of people. There was never a China deal that was completed, and Joe Biden had nothing to do with it.
Former mayor of Moscow's wife gave Hunter Biden's $3.5 million.
Oh, face! Face! Somebody go get me a carton of eggs. There you go. Face! But wait a minute. Why ain't Joe and Mika come back out and repent? Why haven't they come out in sackcloth and ashes, laying out there prostrate, begging for forgiveness for all their lives? Nope, they just moved on because that was their job. Cover for Joe. Get him across the finish line. We all know he lied. We all know that. But your job is to lie for the liar.
$3.5 million from Russia, and it came through Putin because he was very friendly with the former mayor of Moscow, and it was the mayor of Moscow's wife, and you got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million, and someday you're going to have to explain.
Hunter Biden had a financial relationship with Russian businesswoman Elena Baturina. Baturina is the former wife of the late Yuri Lozgov, who was the mayor of Moscow. The investment firm Rosemont Seneca Thornton was co-founded by Hunter Biden and received $3.5 million in a wire transferred from Elena Baturina.
No, wait a minute. We just heard Creepy Sleepy say, that's not true. Not true. My son didn't get nothing. Trump's making it up. It's Russian disinformation. And we heard Mika and Joel sit back and say, no, that's not true. Now, I'm wondering how many people out there that was watching that show when Mika and Joe was lying about Trump lying, I wonder how many of them are still walking around right now thinking that Trump lied about that. He said, remember him said that Biden had got all that money. He was lying on Biden.
You got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million. And
Donald Trump was lying last night, but he lied to tens of millions of people. Joe Biden, again, according to the Wall Street Journal's investigative reporters, had nothing to do with it.
The New York Post reported on the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, alleging he used his father's position for personal gain. Less than a week later, more than 50 former intelligence officials released a statement that the laptop had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation.
Now, you think the deep state ain't real? They're part of the whole operation, too. Yeah, how'd you get 50 of them? Oh, okay. That's because the Biden administration said, y'all got to help us here. Clapper, Brennan. All right, now we all know the laptop's real. I don't know how it got out. I thought you had it locked inside of the closet, huh? But I guess you got exposed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take advantage of the dummies who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome and use our greatest weapon, the deep state / fake news. See, because the fake news ain't going to question the deep state because the deep state runs the fake news. You see how that works? So they just come out like, you know what, that's not true. The intel community said it. They said, and you're not going to question them? See, that lets me know you're not a real journalist. You are a mockingbird journalist. The first thing you should do is like, prove it. But nope, not them. Well, look what they did.
Joe Biden had nothing to do with it.
5 former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage.
Bunch of garbage. No, we're looking at garbage right there. Joe is garbage. Dumpster juice. There you go. Pure 100% dumpster juice. So that guy, for 5 minutes, knowing that they had said, y'all got to go ahead and write up this garbage because I'm in trouble. And then let big tech suppress it. Oh, man, we are in a part of such a corrupt cabal right now. That is why we have to win and shut this mess down. We have to expose all of this crap. Because look at, just going back through the history, look at how much they've deceived everybody with all of this crap. Step-by-step deception.
After the debate, the Wall Street Journal posted an article.
It's classic Trump.
Classic
We have
Trump.
4 days left, and all of a sudden there's a laptop.
Look, you see the big stupid mask on his face. Classic Trump. 4 days long. No, classic Biden. A crook, a liar, a disgusting politician. They ain't never done nothing right. They ain't talking about some classic Trump. You're the liar. This is amazing, man. But nobody will ever see this on the left. And if they did, they would be in full-blown denial. They wouldn't know what to do. They would blow up. If they really was exposed to how much they have been tricked and deceived concerning Trump, how these people who they love and support have taken advantage of their naivety, maybe their kind heart, or whatever. Taking advantage of them. And they wouldn't know what to do with it. This is crazy.
Overwhelming evidence that from the intelligence community that the Russians are engaged.
The vast majority of the intelligence people have come out and said there's no basis at all.
Joe Biden back in 2020, most of those clips there, basically pointing to this letter from former intelligence officials saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was all the product of Russia.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But now we learn that the Biden campaign asked those intelligence officials to write that letter.
No.
The 50 former intelligence officials who falsely accused the Hunter Biden laptop of being Russian disinformation letter in 2020 was organized by former CIA officials at the request of the Biden campaign, according to new testimony. So you get that this wasn't just a fake claim that Russia was behind Hunter Biden's laptop.
If I'm a liberal, I don't know what to do with that. Now, I wish I would have one job. If the Trump administration was to hire me to do one thing, it would be to gather up all of the lies that the fake news has told about Trump. Gather all of this data, track their lies as they claim they're tracking Trump's lies, and actually show them. My whole job would get booked on these shows and going, all right, you know why I'm here. You know why I'm here. Remember here you had said, because this is you, right? That's you, Joe? Okay. All right, remember you had said this, and you back Biden up, and then remember this came out? Or what do you say? Are you going to denounce what you said? Are you going to retract it? That would be my whole job. They wouldn't even they'd be like, oh, here he comes. Get down. Everybody in their whole studio be hiding. They all be down there. I'll be like, I know y'all in there, CNN. I know y'all in there. I can see you moving. Shh, be quiet. He'll just go away. No, I won't. I'll be sitting outside with all the lies. I'm the lie tracker. You need to go ahead and account for your lies.
To help the Biden campaign, this fake claim was done at the behest of the Biden campaign. And we're only learning this now. So they were accusing Russia of putting out the laptop to help Trump, when in reality, they were falsely accusing Russia of being behind the laptop in order to help Biden.
Wow. Russia for all occasions. Yeah, man, blaming Russia when it ain't Russia. It's like folks who blame the devil, and the devil sometimes be like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. It's nothing but the devil working on me. My feet swole up. It's nothing but the devil. Maybe it's arthritis. Maybe it's about to rain and your feet, they're aching a little bit. Everything ain't Diablos. But here they go. Russia. That's why now it's hard to believe them. See, and then they call us Russian sympathizers. Now, why are these Americans starting to love Putin? Why are they? No, we don't love Putin. We hate you guys because y'all have abused that narrative. Y'all have been using this to manipulate people. When in doubt, Russia's the responsible, and trying it again for this election. Trying it again. Let's continue.
In order to help Biden.
His attempts to go after Joe Biden and Hunter Biden fell flat to most people. And as you said,
that was the goal. That was the goal, to make it fall flat, to get Joe across that finish line. These nasty, stinking people.
The Wall Street Journal came out just minutes after the debate ended, actually, and kind of systematically debunked the story.
In order to help Biden.
He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth.
Oh, hilarious. You don't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. And guys, we're going to end with what the thumbnail was talking about. So we got the media working, and then the media got these other little sub tactics that they use too. See, when it comes down to interviewing conservatives, see, they pretend that they're just, inquiring, asking questions. You know what I'm saying? But they never want to talk about policies. Now, remember, the rule of thumb is when you are a real conservative to go on one of these networks, no matter what they tell you, you're coming on there to talk about. It all points back to Trump because he's the biggest target. He right there is the prize. You're just in the way. And so we need to either separate you from Trump or trick you or manipulate you into denouncing Trump or try to expose you as some type of hypocrite. Yeah, it's not here. You're not here so we can ask you about policies and the things that the Republicans, are planning to do and some of the things you're working on. No, we're not here for that. We're here to sabotage you and blindside you with something stupid. So George Snuffleupagus has the nerve to try to pull this crap, and he gets so exposed. Boy, this right here, I bet you he's somewhere under a bed like, I'm not coming out. Look at this.
This morning, and you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and two separate juries have found him liable for defaming the victim of that.
So why bring this up? Why bring this up? He shows a clip of her talking about what happened to her, which is the R word. He shows that first. That's the lead-in. He's setting the tone. That's the subject. You are the subject, Christy Gnomes. Yeah, see, because we want to use that against you. Here you are, a victim of this. Now, what I want you to do is either reveal you're a hypocrite for supporting Trump because I'm about to make up some stuff about him and use all of these fake charges and this overreach of power up in New York to come up with this narrative that we've created, okay? I'm going to use that to either make you say, well, yeah, I better denounce Trump, or look like a hypocrite. Because I'm not here to talk about anything else. I want to embarrass you. I want to point you out to be a hypocrite. And I want to go ahead and say, well, how could you, as a victim yourself, support this man? And they do it in other applications too. How could you, as a Christian, support this man? How can you, as a black man? See, they create all the narratives that they want to create, then they vet you against the narrative. So if you come on the show, they already got a pre-prepared narrative that Trump's a racist. If I, as a black man, come on, Trump recently said that black people can relate to him because of him being arrested. And that sounds pretty racist, don't you think? So how can you, as a black man, support Donald Trump? Now I'm sitting there going, can we talk about his policies? You bring me on here to question my blackness and to use this narrative that you guys built. Remember, you guys built the narrative. If any white Christian comes on the show, remember earlier, the narrative, how can you support Trump? See, only white nationalist Christians. See, the Christian nationalist supports him. Now, are you a Christian nationalist? A made-up term, a made-up narrative, and now you get to this. He's using the nastiest, stinking, dirtiest tactic and thinking that he's getting away with it, and it's going to backfire on his butt.
How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was raped at the age of 16. And any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential victim. I'm not gonna do that.
See, she's peeping it out already. She knows the hit's in. Yeah, he wouldn't have showed the clip of her earlier talking about her situation if this wasn't a hit piece. Now, out of all the stuff he could talk about with Trump, he makes sure he finds something personal that happened to her that he could connect to this false narrative of Trump. And then he wants to vet her against that. Now, she sees the writing on the wall. He think he's slick. He's trying to pretend like he's just neutral. This is just a random question that just came up out of nowhere. Now, notice what his nasty, stinking butt doesn't do. I would ask him, well, how do you square supporting Joe Biden, who, have never given a real platform to Tara Reade? And how can you support Joe Biden when his daughter's diary has surfaced to show that he was taking showers with her and damaged her? How can you support that guy? How can you support Joe Biden when he was a segregationist, running around talking about, I want my kids growing up in a racial jungle? They don't ask anybody else, how can you support Joe Biden? See, they don't want that to backfire. Yeah, they love Joe. Joe ain't never done nothing wrong. See, but now he's asking anybody to come on. How can you support Trump? That goes to show their motive. Their whole motive is to separate you from Trump, is to make voters distance themselves from Trump, make them guilty by association, or you're a hypocrite. All of that. Everything is negative.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about
Donald Trump. Are shaming
you. You've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Right. Donald Trump has been found liable by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable.
Look at the tactic. Liable for it. Not accused, not convicted of it, liable. So that raggedy court up there then gave them some red meat, and here he is trying to fit a square into a circle, trying to conflate the issues. He wants their audience to think that Donald Trump, committed the R word. That's what he wants. So, but he's careful with his words. Liable. Knowing that the average brain that watches MSNBC is going to associate that with he did it. And she catches it.
For defaming the victim of that by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a victim, and I find it disgusting.
It is disgusting. Not to mention, that's a flim-flam sham court. You think we don't know what the deal is. That's why all of these cases are being brought in liberal cities with these raggedy judges. I guess you also think that the Letitia James verdict was legit too, right? George Snuffleupagus. You don't think we see this mess? Y'all bend all the rules so you can get the crazy chick to go ahead and file charges against Trump, and then come up with some garbage about, Trump defamed her because he denied it and said she was crazy, even though she is. Same woman who got the nerve to get up there talking about I think the R word is sexy. Yes, you're fascinating to talk to, Anderson. The same woman who, after they awarded her the money, hopefully she never sees a dime of it, goes on TV boasting and, I'm going to do so many things with this money. We're going to have fun. I'm going to get a motorcycle for you. That woman's crazy. The woman who was up there painting trees and rocks in her backyard. And you want us to believe it's a legitimate court. We've seen this play out constantly with Trump. Y'all pick a already predetermined judge or jury or whatever, and then y'all try to legitimize the convictions or the decisions based on a jury of his peers. And those aren't jury of his peers. I mean, if that's like me, being a conservative, and you try me in Seattle. Now, all the jurors come in there, done watch Kevin's Corner, done watch me talk about all of this stuff, and he's amongst the jury of his peers. Nope, they're licking their chops as soon as I walk in there. This black white nationalist is in here. All right, I already know what he's about. You got your pens ready? And we're all guilty across the board, right? We don't even need to hear what he has to say. But yeah, here you are, jury of his peers. It was a sham dang on jury.
And quite frankly, E. Jean Carroll's comments when she did get the judgment, joking about what she was going to buy, it makes it harder for women to come forward when they make a mockery.
Interrupt her, Snuffy.
When they joke about it.
Doesn't it make it harder for women to come forward when they...
It makes it harder when other women joke about it. And
it makes it harder. See, that's what he's on. This is a hit piece. See, we already know where George Snuffleupagus' affections lie. It is to defend Biden and to scar Trump. And now, everything about it is a defense against her argument. This man is trying to try Trump again every single day. The whole network, they try Trump every day in the court of public opinion. So here he is. It's actually, makes it hard for women to come forward when people like Donald Trump. Now, imagine you being accused of this. There are some things that is hard to be quiet about. If you call me something like that, or if you accuse me of something like that, and you want me to eat that and be quiet, the fact that Trump came out and said what he said lets me know that he didn't do this crap. Because when people accuse you of something that heinous, you're mad. It's like when people call people racist. I'm like, do you understand what you're calling this person? When you call somebody a racist over something stupid like that, that's one of the worst things you can call people. And the Democrats sling that mess out there like it's nothing. The Democrats will go and drag up raggedy women all the time when it comes down to if we want to destroy a man's life and throw her out there all over the place and dare you to say, this woman's lying. Man, I would be furious. I'd be like, man, I ain't touched that chick. I swear. I mean, oh, she lying. And then all of a sudden, when you say that, oh, well, now you're defaming her. Not only did you probably do it, but you're defaming her. Matter of fact, give her some more money. Give her some more money so she can go out and buy motorcycles and go on MSNBC bragging about it. I would be furious too.
And she's joked about it. I find it offensive. And I also find it offensive that you're trying to shame me with this question.
I'm not trying to shame you. In fact,
I'm not trying to shame you at all. I'm just trying to go ahead and shame you. What he's really trying to do is to make her distance herself from Trump by using her tragedy and saying, now, wait a minute. You got this tragedy, and he was accused of something similar to what you was accused of, even though it's not. He wasn't accused. I mean, he wasn't convicted of any of that crap. This is all garbage on his part. But George Snuffleupagus is trying to shame her. He's trying to shame her for her vote. Just like they do black people. You black? And you voting for Trump? Man, you a sellout. You a Christian? And you vote for Trump? All tactics. All psychological warfare. You a woman? And you voting for Trump? Did you hear how he feels about women? You're a Muslim? And you're voting for Trump? You know he hates all Muslims. You're Latino? And you're voting for Trump? They do it across the board. They make sure they build a wall of false narratives so that they can put everybody in a category and say, how could you vote for Trump? So let's continue because he's about to get exposed.
Dealt with this for 30 years. You know how hard it was to tell my story 5 years ago when they were doing a fetal heartbeat bill when there were no exceptions for incest or incest in there? I had to tell my story because no other woman was coming forward.
I'm just asking. No, you're not. Call out his motive, Christy. You stinking thing, you. I'm just asking. No, that's the whole goal. You brought her on there for that. You opened up showing the clip. What was the purpose of that? Snuffy, what was the purpose of that? It is to shame her about her vote. That's what it is. Now you're trying to play the passive. No, I'm just being a journalist. I'm just asking. Why that? You're opening up a wound. That's like trying to invoke some emotions in some person unnecessarily, unless you got a motive. I want to talk to you about the time where you got in a car accident and unfortunately was responsible for killing a whole bunch of people by accident. I get it was an accident, but I want to go ahead and take you back there. So for what? I don't want to talk about that, but you're doing it for a reason. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to bring up a sore subject that he shouldn't even be talking about. but he's doing it for nefarious purposes.
Represented, and you're trying to shame me this morning.
I'm just asking.
And I find it
I'm just
offensive,
asking.
and this is why women won't come forward.
Women won't come forward because they're defamed by those who perpetrate. Donald
They
Trump
are
has been-
judged and they're shamed, and you're trying to shame me this morning. I think it's disgusting.
I'm not shaming you at all. I
I
called you
told my
courageous.
story. It took me 25 years to tell my story. I was judged for it. I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question, and it's a question about.
No, you are.
I'm just asking a very simple question. Man, they are so easily seen through. I'm just asking a very simple question. It's not a simple question. What's your motive behind this question, George? I mean, now all of a sudden that you're on the bubble and now you're looking like a nasty, stinking man who's really attacking this woman and bringing up her past. Now you're all of a sudden, the way I'll shoot, this didn't come across as I thought. She's on to me. She didn't take the bait. Now all of a sudden she's on the offense, and like you are trying to shame me. No, I'm just trying to ask a question. Now he's trying to backpedal a little bit.
Shaming
You've
me.
endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that.
Liable for defaming a victim. I mean, are you not allowed to say I didn't do it? This person is lying on me? I mean, they just make up rules as they go. So now here he is trying to drop down the facts. He was convicted by a jury of his peers that a jury did that. See, yeah, a fixed case already, but he's trying to drop that out there. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, y'all spend a lot of time trying to point out all of these things that Donald Trump has been accused of, been convicted of, all of that for a purpose. It almost as if your whole goal and purpose is to destroy him, to go ahead and take votes away from him, to defend the Democrats, and to try to go ahead and just completely demonize anybody who would vote for Trump or separate them from Trump by saying, how could you support this guy? Look at all the stuff we accused him of. Yeah, stuff like that. So, but he's going to try to play, I'm just trying to ask a question.
By a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a victim, and I find it disgusting.
Yeah,
and quite frankly, E. Jean Carroll's comments when she did get the judgment, joking about what she was going to buy, it makes it harder for women to come forward when they make a mockery out of.
I believe him, and I
look at this. Chameleon.
Them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it.
Yeah. When Joe Biden was accused of some stuff and she was running against him, she said she believed all them victims, y'all.
Do you believe that the vice president should enter this race?
Grabian,
The
multimedia marketplace.
I wouldn't tell him what to do.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, but now all of a sudden, it's funny how these Democrats just immediately drop all of that. They drop all of that mess once, they realize, well, I can't beat him. I might as well join him. Oh, what do you mean I said that he was a racist and a segregationist? That was back then. I didn't mean it. What do you mean I told him I believe all them victims? I know they were all lying on him. Now I'm going to be his VP. Just like we're about to see George Snuffleupagus get caught in his own trap.
Judged and they're shamed. You're trying to shame me this morning. I think it's disgusting.
I'm not shaming you at all.
I told my story. It took me 25 years to tell my story.
I'm not shaming you at all.
I
I'm
still
just
get
asking a
judged for it
question.
today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it.
Explain
You're
why-
shaming me for my political
Explain
choices.
why.
Asking you a question.
She ain't got to explain to you, man. I'm just asking you a very simple question. Explain to me why you would support somebody. You just won't let it go, right? How about she thinks he's better than Joe Biden? How about that? I think he's better than Joe. Joe sucks, Trump doesn't. There you go. Next question. But no. He wants to get down on the inside and do a little counseling session, re-injure the injury, open up the wound, all of that, and then say, now that the wound is open, how can you support this man after that?
About why you endorse someone who's been found liable.
It was not a criminal court. It was a civil court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money. And I find that offensive.
I'm asking you.
But not you, Snuffy. Yeah, you're not able to put that together. You think that's absolutely normal for a crazy chick to come out of nowhere after 20, 30, 40 years. And then get awarded some bootleg conviction and then get on TV excited about it. There's nothing strange about that. We're supposed to take her seriously, right? Now, this ain't no hit piece. She's an upstanding, honest person.
As a victim who's been shamed for years now because of you're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive. As a woman, I find it offensive. For my political choices, I've endorsed the man that I believe is best for our country. It's not Joe Biden. And you looked at the dueling rallies yesterday in Georgia. Laken Riley's family was with Donald Trump. They weren't with Joe Biden. The same guy yesterday that apologized for calling her killer an illegal. Who was an illegal?
Oh, George, get out of there. This ain't going the way you thought it was going to go. You're going to come out looking like the bad guy on this one, George. Yeah, I know she's a Republican, and the folks that watch y'all don't have any compassion for Republicans. But where's the Me Too? Where's the shaming the victim? Where's all of that stuff? But you didn't get on Creepy Sleepy for talking about some, oops, I'm sorry, I called them illegals. They're simply precious undocumented Americans.
And here you are trying to shame a victim. I find it disgusting.
I mean, you keep saying I'm shaming you.
You are. The question, it is.
How is the question asking you about a presidential candidate?
You're asking a victim.
And there's no question about that. And you've courageously talked about
because
that.
I think that's disgusting.
No, I'm questioning your political choices because you're supporting
shaming me. You're trying
someone who's been found liable for. Actually, I'm not trying to.
You are. That's exactly
you're not
what
answering
you're doing.
the question.
And I think it's disgusting.
Well, you're welcome to say that, but you have to answer the question.
No, she doesn't. You have to answer the question. Who do you think you are? You little pipsqueak. Man, if I was her husband, I might rush down to that studio so quick, grab him around that little skinny neck, so tight, one hand, whole fist, my fist would be completely closed. Like asking my wife this stupid mess. You know what, you little, just start to. But I do not support violence. That is just simply me imagining and stuff like that. I am not encouraging anybody to go and choke George Snuffleupagus and punch his face like a punching bag. Let's continue.
Are you supporting someone who's been found liable?
I just answered your question.
Keep saying answer.
He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was sexual abuse. It wasn't actually, by the way.
Now, you don't think that motive is clear? Why are you supporting somebody who was accused of bleep? Why? Why are you supporting? Just answer the question. Why are you supporting? And notice he keeps saying it. Somebody who's liable. Somebody who did that. Why are you supporting him? Why are you supporting him? That right there is not just for her. It's for everybody watching. Why are you supporting? If I keep saying it. Now, she got way more composure than me. Because I'm telling you right now, I would have dropped out some choice words for George Snuffleupagus.
And E. Jean Carroll joked about all the money she's going to get and made a mockery out of this case. And I think that's offensive. There's a reason why women don't come forward. And when you have someone who says that they make a mockery out of this civil court judgment, it's offensive to other women. It makes it harder for other women to come forward when another woman has made a mockery of it.
You said women don't come forward because they are afraid. They are afraid
they're
because
judged
they're
and shamed,
by those
like you're trying to shame me this morning.
They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing.
He defended.
Found guilty of doing. So wait, let me get this straight. He wasn't found guilty of the R word. But when he comes out and say, I didn't do the R word, and this chick's lying, now all of a sudden he's guilty of defaming her. Guilty of defaming her. Now, does that make any rational sense? No. But see, he's not there to make sense. That guy right there is there to drive home the narrative that Trump is guilty of the R word because, see, he wants that to be conflated. And then he wants to paint Republicans as you're supporting this dirty guy. You're supporting an insurrectionist. You're supporting a Putin sympathizer. You're supporting a guy who wants to be Hitler. You're supporting a guy who committed the R word. You're supporting a guy who's a racist. You're supporting a guy who all the stuff we make up about him, you're supporting that guy. As if we don't know y'all make this crap up. That's why he's not losing support. It's because we all know the game.
himself over that and denies that it ever happened, but he was not found guilty in a criminal court of law.
So shut
it was
your
a
nose.
civil
Shut
judgment.
your big nose
A
up.
civil judgment is okay, but a criminal judgment
This is
not.
different, and they didn't even input all of the evidence into the civil case either, because some of the information she provided wasn't even accurate or correct.
Because she's a liar.
But to sit here and ask me as a victim to try to shame me for my political choices.
Yep.
Is wrong, and I think it's offensive.
You can repeat that again and again.
can
and
repeat
I'm
it
going
again
to
and again
because
and
I find
again.
it deeply offensive.
You don't find it offensive that Donald Trump has been found liable?
There it is
I
again.
find it offensive as a
There it is
victim
again.
that you're trying to shame me for my political choices. And I've said again repeatedly, E. Jean Carroll has made a mockery out of by joking about it. I don't find that funny. It's not funny.
You've made it perfectly
It's serious.
You've made it perfectly comfortable.
It's serious.
It is
it's
serious.
not funny, and it shouldn't
Look
be made
at
a
it, look at
mockery
it.
of. But you want to defend a woman.
Evil can be
made a
mouth
mockery-
dry. But you know what? I came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. Snuffy's about to get it. No rapper can rap quite like I can. I take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand. He's about to get his face put in the sand.
Then you go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that.
Well, actually, what you're doing is defending a man who's been found liable. I don't understand how you can do that.
Not in a criminal court of law. This was a civil judgment over sexual abuse, not...
I can't even believe this dude. Challenging her, talking about, I don't understand how you can do that. How would you know? First of all, that's like you saying you understand what she been through. Yeah. I mean, even though I can't understand and relate to what you've gone through, but I'm just saying, I don't know how you can defend this guy. Unreal.
By the way, and she made a mockery out of it.
Can we pull up the Washington Post headline right there? In fact, it has been shown. The judge affirmed that it was, in fact, Donald Trump was found to have committed. That's just a fact.
That is a civil judgment, not a criminal court. They're two very different things, and you know better.
Well, I just showed you the facts.
You know better.
You show that you're very comfortable with what Donald Trump has done.
And what you've done is offensive to women what you've done this morning is offensive.
We'll let the viewers decide about that.
Oh, we will. And somebody else, y'all. Ooh, somebody who got some receipts. George Snuffy forgot he left all of these corrupt crumbs on the internet. Now, I want to make sure that somebody sends this to George Snuffy because he's real concerned about shaming the victim. He's real concerned about that and supporting a man who, of course, was accused of the R word and all that stuff. So Megyn Kelly done came up with some footage about Snuffy. Let's see what happens.
What a kind, sensitive man who clearly cares deeply about women and their sexual assault allegations. Thanks for being an ally, George. Yeah. I see how concerned you are that victims might not come forward if they are publicly attacked. But
I detect a little sarcasm in her voice. I don't think this is gonna be kind towards George Snuffy. Yeah, she's being sarcastic. If you can tell it, you can tell it. Okay, here we go.
By their West or his defenders. To be sure, that is a very real concern. It happens all the time, which you know because you invented it. Remember? When you created a whole command center designed to smear Bill Clinton's sexual assault and accusers so you could elevate him right into the presidency. The attorney representing many of Bill's accusers, and there were many, George, Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willey, Paula Jones, Jennifer Flowers, to name just a few, said you and James Carville, at Hillary Clinton's direction, formed a so-called war room, whose purpose was, quote, to destroy any woman that would challenge Bill Clinton. You know the war room.
Woo-wee! George Snuffy created a war room against the women, all them victims. We're in the war room against Bill Clinton's victims. Let's go get these women and make them shut up so we can cover up all of Bill's indiscretions. Woo, Megyn came out the box with a judo chop. Let's see if that little neck can hold up to that judo chop. Continue, Megyn, because you have my attention.
Well, they made a whole movie about it.
George Stephanopoulos, I'm Director of Communications. Bush was on the defensive.
Look, there's a young George Snuffy. There's a young George Snuffy right there.
For Bill Clinton, 3 debates, 3 wins. I guarantee you that if you do this, you'll never work in Democratic politics again.
Oh, snap. See, now that's where my job would come in. Remember, guys, earlier in my show, I said my whole job would be to go around and show all the lies and the hypocrisy of the media. That would be my whole job. Trump, if you're listening, hire me just to do that. Because I need to catch that footage right there and then show him the footage of him questioning, Christy Gnomes and coming, hey, is this the young version of you, Snuffy? Is that a young version of you? Remember you was in there? See. And here you are talking about the victims and all that stuff. What do you have to say to that? See, I would hold it in both hands. And as he leans in for a closer look, I'll go smack him on both ears. There you go. Now think about it and walk away. Well, I think that's me. Now think about it. Walk right out. Let's continue hearing about his hypocrisy.
Such a tough guy. This attorney points out that you don't like to talk about this particular behavior, George. Maybe that's why you skipped it in your discussion with Nancy Mace?
Yeah. Because I'm sure somebody called him about, hey, was that you in that war room when you was talking about the, you know what, my attorneys don't want to talk about that. That was me in another lifetime. I was young and foolish. No, yeah, whatever. You're still up to the same shenanigans, defending the Democrats at all costs.
But as you know, private detectives were hired. The women say they were threatened, and they were publicly shamed by you and your well-funded team. Did you worry then that this behavior might shame victims from coming forward? You admitted in your own memoir that Hillary Clinton told you about one accuser, quote, "We have to destroy her story." Did you object? Did you say, "That's shaming"? No. In fact, you later described yourself as Bill Clinton's, quote, "enabler." But sir, how could you have enabled and defended a man like this, accused by multiple women of sexual assault and harassment?
Wee! How is George Snuffy going to get off the hook on this? I mean, he done put it in his book. You saw him in a war room, on the phone, talking about, listen, you'll never work in this city. You understand that? Now, look, man, you're going to shut your mouth. You understand that? Yeah, I'm here to shame you. Wow. Boy, I tell you. Megan, boy, I tell you, I'm loving it right now. Continue, because I just saw that guy harassing a woman, trying to shame her, and yet he himself is guilty of the very thing that he's accusing her and Donald Trump of.
Which brings us to Paula Jones. You were Clinton's attack dog when Jones came forward claiming Bill Clinton had exposed himself to her. That when he was governor of Arkansas, he summoned her through state troopers to a Little Rock, Arkansas hotel room and took out his penis. A charge Clinton denies.
He just cut through the chase. Listen, I need you guys to go pick up this little tenderoni and bring her to my hotel room. Didn't even warm up. Good grief. Yeah, as soon as she comes in, boing, there it is. So what are you doing? What do you want me to do with that? You know what to do. I'm Bill Clinton, baby. If you don't like it, I'll have George Snuffleupagus come out and cover it up for me.
Just as Trump denies E. Jean Carroll's allegations against him. What do you think he wanted done with that thing, George? Just a little show and tell? Jones was poor, a graduate of secretarial school, and worked for the state. She had no power, no connections, and he was the sitting governor.
Just like Tara Reid. Wow, isn't that crazy? No Me Too for her. None of that stuff.
She didn't go to Columbia and Oxford and become a Rhodes Scholar like you, George. She was a nothing to you. Your buddy Carville immediately went after Ms. Jones, infamously saying, if you drag a $100 bill through a trailer park, you never know what you'll find. And you? Did you defend Paula Jones, saying, we don't shame accusers? That's wrong. No. You compared Jones to Tanya Harding as, quoting here from the New York Times, just another woman seeking cash for telling a tabloid tale.
Oh my! I really need that job. I want the title of the lie collector. There it is. There it is, the lie and hypocrisy collector. Somebody give me I want a badge. The lie police. I would bring that quote in and say, what do you think about this, Snuffy? I would take that quote and paste it all over his face. Remember you said that? And maybe it's, let me get it closer so you can see it. There you go. Can you read it? No, actually I can't. My eyes shut. It's okay. It's okay. How about I shove it up your nose? Yeah, this way you can read it later while you're sitting on the toilet. Pull it out your nose. Okay, yep, it looks like that's me. I said that. This dirty little weasel, man. And he looks like a weasel. Whole time he was asking all them questions to her. He just looks like a nasty, dirty, stinking little weasel.
Fire up that war room, George, and destroy her. Bill Clinton would ultimately pay Paula Jones almost $1 million.
Now, why would he do that? He was innocent, wasn't he? Wasn't he, Snuffy? Hmm?
To settle her civil suit against him.
Oh, but wait, no. See, civil suits are the same. They're the same as being convicted of a crime. See, so technically Bill Clinton did the R word. See, because you're trying to differentiate between a civil suit and a criminal suit. No, criminal liability. No. I mean, why are you trying to differentiate? Yeah. Why isn't he talking about this? See, these folks get exposed all the time, and I love it. The problem is the people who needs to be seeing this most likely won't see it.
And you remained Team Clinton all the way. To say nothing of Juanita Broderick's allegation or Kathleen Willie's allegations and more.
And more? But now you see how Democrats roll. See, they will defend their own regardless of what they've done. Period. That is why. They have nothing to say about Hillary Clinton and Margaret Sanger and Joe Biden and Robert Byrd and all of these people who, if it was anybody else, they would be unredeemable, irredeemable. I can't believe these people. He once shook hands with Robert Byrd. He's tainted with racism for the rest of his life. But hey, forgive all of them and all of the accusations because we don't even want to look into those. Because we use our weapons to keep us out of trouble. The deep state, a corrupt DOJ, a raggedy FBI who keeps all of this stuff undercover just in case they need to use it for a rainy day. And all of that. But the biggest one is people like George Snuffleupagus and the rest of the fake news.
Now you, quote, don't understand how Nancy Mace can support a man found liable for sexual assault of one woman 30 years ago in a civil trial in which the burden of proof is just 51% likely. My God, how did anyone at ABC think this was a good line of inquiry for George Stephanopoulos, of all people, to pursue?
Get him! That's right. But they did it. They picked the wrong guy, the biggest hypocrite, the one that's guilty of the very thing that he tried to come out and do a hit piece on Mace. Nancy, was it? I almost forgot her name. Kristi Noem. Yeah. Pick that dude, the worst guy. It's almost like they're so dumb they don't even stop to say, well, maybe we should do a little background check before we send this person out for the hit piece, because this person is guilty of the very thing that he's accusing Trump of and, Kristi Noem. How about you pick somebody that don't have that background? But they don't care. They don't care. They don't do any of that research. They're so blinded by trying to stop Trump and trying to go ahead and destroy the Republicans and trying to go ahead and demonize everybody who's voting for Trump. They have blinders on. They don't even realize their own hypocrisy. They're not even aware of the fact that they've left all of this footage on the internet. That's why Mika and Joe up there talking about the intel community and Trump lied. Yeah, they say that stuff and they still are doing it. I bet you if you turn them on right now, they're lying about Trump. Lying about Trump. Right now. Yeah, that's why I need that position. There it is. So I can go and remind them about all the lies. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. But I do say this. One big key factor that will slow them down is if you get rid of the deep state. That would hurt them deep because that's where they're getting their orders from. Yeah. See, that's where they're really being controlled. If you get rid of the deep state, so they won't be planting narratives, planting lies, doing all that stuff, give them stories to write. You get rid of the deep state, now they got to rely on their own reporting. So that's one thing that would help. Somebody said they had to resubscribe every day. Guys have to resubscribe. Yep. And I'm sorry that some of y'all have to do that. But hey, I mean, why should I be excused from the persecution that we see taking place across the United States when it comes down to conservatives and the channels? Yeah, maybe I'm doing something right. Who knows? Because if they left me alone, I might have to question whether I'm legit. I'd be like, wait a minute, they're not censoring me at all. They're not suppressing my channel. Am I too liberal? Yeah, I mean, I want to be their worst nightmare. I want every day when they wake up to go to work, as Kevin's still on. Oh, shoot. We thought he gave up. We thought he gave up by now. Well, no, I'm not going to give up. Dang on it. I'm not going down like that. So God bless y'all. I'm not going down because y'all help me. Y'all help me by sharing my videos, following me, all those good things, words of encouragement, everything you do. It helps the channel. It helps me. And so I appreciate every single thing. What's up, crazy chick Sheena, all the way over there in Ireland? Telling you, still got to ask some questions about Ireland. Follow me on Twitter or something. I don't know. Follow me somewhere if you're on any of those things. Because I got tons of questions. You are my ear to Ireland. I want to know what's going on over there. And anybody else from another country that watches the show. Yeah, let me know if you're from another country, because if you're on social media, you can follow me and I might have some questions about what's going on over there. Okay. So, yeah, you know how to find me. Yeah, send me a request or whatever. So thanks for hanging out tonight. Hit the like button, the number on the screen. Please text MAGA to it. All right. So we can stay in touch just in case something crazy happens. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can either check out my store, Kevin's Corner Store, or you can also just support the channel through my monthly fundraising link. And please subscribe to my second channel and follow me on Rumble. And other than that, I'm about to get out of here and get some nourishment because I'm starving like Marvin, man. The stomach is touching my backbone. Oh, man. That's what I am, man. Right now, Mother Hubbard can't get a bone in my belly. Yeah. And somebody else is looking at me like, oh, you're done. Yeah. Couldn't love a human baby more than that dog. Take care.